a surprise for Teva. There was a date
Right.
of the basic patent, and there are some evaluation of where competition will come. By the way, because I was involved also in a much earlier discussion about what to do when Copaxone patent will be expired. This was a discussion in Teva maybe 10 years ago. And there were a couple of moves. First, Teva tried to develop oral Copaxone and spend a lot of money and failed. So for a couple of years, there were good signs that Teva will be able to switch from injectable to oral. This was the first one. The second one was that we saw that the strongest competition started to come from other products. There were a couple of oral products that came into the market which were not exist when Copaxone was launched. And the concern was not so much from generic competition of the injectable Copaxone, of generic Copaxone, but more of the oral competition that penetrate the market. And surprisingly, by the way, the loyalty of Copaxone patients to the product was much higher than what was first evaluated by Teva. Because you can imagine that on a chronic base, if you have an alternative of oral drug, you will not inject yourself twice a week.
Yeah.
Yes, but still, based on the relationship that Teva built with the patient, because Teva created a patient support center in the U.S. where every new patient was approached by a nurse of Teva, got a guidance of how to inject. They have a 24/7, a center to consult and so on. So they build a lot of confidence in the product and managed to convince existing patients to stay with the product and not switch to oral. Of course, new patients, diagnosed MS patients, mostly are using today the oral products.
I see. Okay. So they didn't manage to create the oral version, and competition did. Is that what we're reading? Right.
Yeah. But the competition were coming from a new chemical entities that were not exist at the time.
I
think the big surprise
I
think my big surprise is how long Copaxone was and is still a valid product. I think everyone was, including Teva, didn't think that it will hold so long. So it's right now. I think it's all good surprise. Unfortunately, the failure of Teva was to develop the next Copaxone, because as a branded company, you cannot rely on having one product and that's it. I think this was
especially when it makes up like half of your EBITDA.
Right. So although there were attempts to come with the next one, but it was not a success, to say the least.
So if I'm looking at this right now, it to me, okay, so it sounds like that is obviously it's one of the biggest contributors to EBITDA. It's it's huge concentration. They've got other things in pipeline which we can talk about later. But for now, there seems like this was the problem. They didn't address it. Like the coming off of the basic molecule patent was the problem. 2013. They didn't come up with the new the next Copaxone, the next drug that will replace it. And now we're facing a future with no Copaxone really, right? In the next, how long will it take